What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Star Wars Exchange for Season 2, Phase 2, whatever you want to call it. We're back for this second era of the show. Mike and I, so excited to get back into it. It's great. It's been, a month or two since we've recorded. Maybe it's only been like a month since an episode's been out, but it's felt like we've been on break for quite a while. So very keen to jump back into it. But Mike, how are you today on this return episode?
First of all, I'm doing great, but I'm also kind of tripping out right now because I'm just realizing that this is the first time you recorded a podcast in your room since May, right?
Oh
Since
my
like
God, that is true.
I'm
I
just
forgot
I'm
about
just
that. I think
experiencing
it
that
is
right
since
now.
May, and
Yeah,
it's almost August.
we
That's
yeah.
crazy.
I mean it's nothing new for me because after we came back from celebration, I was still in my
Yeah,
room and recording the Obi-Wan episodes from here,
yeah,
but you were at your brother's place
yeah.
with the fancy office desk
Up
and
in New
stuff
York, yeah.
up in New York, and now you're just back. You're back home. So this is like
Back
right
home, back in Oz.
back in Oz, down under. So yeah, I'm doing great. Kind of tripping out right now because I just realized I can't believe I didn't even put that together even minutes ago. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's great to be back. As I already said, this is like season 2 of the podcast, phase 2, whatever. But yeah, it's whatever we did before was great, and now we're just moving along and pushing back. But yeah, it's felt like it's been an eon since we last recorded and stuff, and it just feels good to be back in the groove of things. And I thank everyone that's been following along on our social medias and waiting for the return of the show like we have. So appreciate you guys always.
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's huge. We're so excited today. Not going to be a crazy episode. We just want to like catch up with everyone, let everyone know what we've been up to personally. Talk about like what to expect from the show. Sorry about that. Phone should have been on silent. Um,
Boo.
what to expect from the show going forward, in this like new era or whatever.
Right.
And then also, yeah, what's been going on with Star Wars? Because I mean, honestly, not a lot, little things here and there, but we'll talk about what's happened the last month or two, what we think is going to happen in this next month. So yeah, excited to get all into it. But Mike, tell us what's been going on with you since the last episode we recorded was the Galaxy's Edge review. Well, that was the last episode that went out, at least.
Right.
So yeah, that was when was that? When I was in Chicago, the start of June.
Right.
And we're at the back end of July now. So what's been going on since I guess I left Chicago pretty much.
um well, aren't we in August? Or are you saying like when we release that episode?
Are we in August?
Yes, we're in August, mate.
Oh my God. Jesus.
It's yeah, it's
Oh yeah,
August.
so I'm getting my months mixed up.
It's
This
all
whole
good.
episode, people are like, "What is this guy
It's
saying?"
all good, guys. We are in August. All right.
Guys, I'm a bit rusty on the podcast, right? We
It's
haven't recorded one of these for a while.
it's all right. So yeah, not gonna lie, after Ari left, pretty sad. It was pretty sad just because it was so much fun having him here and stuff. Where it was like, what? Where is he going now? So and he continued on his trip, which I was happy for him and stuff. But it was just like such a fun time having him around and stuff. And obviously behind, I mean, go listen to our podcast, our story. Bitch, by the way, shout out to you guys because even like there was our celebration experience, that one got a lot of views and listens. And then
Mm,
I'm like, okay, like there's gonna be like a couple people that care about like our story
yeah.
and stuff, or at least that's what we titled it, the Star Wars Exchange story so far. I'm like, there's gonna be a couple people, the more week to week listeners type people,
Mm.
not the ones that just follow along for the shows, which we still love you by the way, but you get the vibe. So I was like, okay, there's just and it just kind of like it's been tracking and tracking, so it's got like 230 like views and plus all the listens that it has, and I'm like, I'm just like so moved and like humbled that you guys like care about this show and care about like Ari and I and what we're doing. So yeah, no, thank you guys. Another applause for you guys. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it is so cool to see like the personalized content
yeah,
actually be cared about because we almost do that just for fun for us,
all
It's
right,
almost like a diary, but the fact that you guys want to watch and listen to that stuff, awesome. So
yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And yeah, so I was pretty sad when Ari left, and I honestly like every week has been super busy with like family gatherings, family parties, friend gatherings, So I've been busy. So I'll also, if you notice on my Instagram page, haven't been posting a lot. I've just been entertained by so many other things, and my time has been there. And it's also summer. It's summer here in the land of Chicago. So it's right now. It's you know Instagram haven't also been keeping up with, just because it's like I want to do other things right now and stuff and spend my time differently. And everyone deserves a little summer break. So yeah, nothing major. I'm entering my what's shaping up to be my last semester of college, so I'm excited for that. I'm looking forward to with this semester also carrying on the podcast and stuff like that. So nothing major has happened, but I mean, it's just, I mean, well, actually, you might see me with facial hair now. This is the first time on the
I was gonna
podcast that
say.
I've had facial hair, and I'm doing it for Andor. I'm doing it for the release of Andor. Gotta support Cassie and Andor. Gotta support my boy Diego Luna. But
Hell yeah.
yeah, nothing crazy has happened. I mean, I've actually sat down and read Princess and Scoundrel, which we'll talk about later on. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I haven't even done anything Star Wars. Haven't Usually I'll take the summers to rewatch like Rebels or Clone Wars, but I've just been so occupied that I haven't. I was telling Ari one time, we had just had like a conversation on FaceTime or something. Then the next day, or no, actually it was on that day, I literally did nothing but stay home and do like more like admin work. So I was just like doing like all this paperwork that I needed to do, and
Mm.
just things like that. And I was like, wow, I haven't had a productive day like this in a long time. So yeah, I just seriously though, if you guys haven't already, go listen to our Galaxy's Edge um podcast review, and then same with the Star Wars Exchange story so far. It was filmed live in this room with Ari here,
Mm.
so
Mm-hmm.
it was really fun. We filmed those episodes back to back, and it was just a great time. And it was one of the last days that Ari was here that we recorded them and stuff. So yeah, Ari, I mean, I've kind of talked to you a bit since you've come back to Oz. When I say a bit, I mean a lot, pretty much. But
Yeah.
yeah, tell us what's been going on with your life, and how's the return from your big 2 month adventure trip been like?
Yeah, it's been something. It's been crazy. Like first of all, like the trip was great. I was gone for about 2 months. It all started in Anaheim at Celebration, which I'm sure you guys all saw. And then yeah, obviously went there, checked out New York because my brother lives over there. Some other cool places. Went to Iceland, which is just was weird, but it was awesome. Got to visit our friend Chelsea, who's been on the pod in Philly. That was cool. And then, of course, over to Chicago to stay with the man himself. That was so much fun. One of the absolute highlights of the trip. Was there for like around 10 days, which, man, it felt like 2 days of just how quickly it went. But yeah, obviously that was the last time we podcasted together. That was yeah, that was a very special moment for both of us. It really felt like a part of the reason why like this is like the new era. We felt like that was like the season finale. Like we finally got to like that moment where we were recording the show in the same room, which was just insane. More of that to come in the near future, I guess. But to get there at all was just crazy. To be in the same room as each other was insane, and we got there in like May or something. So
Yeah.
that was cool. And then yeah, off to Colorado to visit our buddy Davis, and then back home around about a month ago now. So yeah, I mean, we didn't really like officially plan to have a break per se, but then I think for me personally, I was just so like physically burnt out from like just traveling and stuff. It can be pretty exhausting, and then also just like from Star Wars, like it was very intense, like the celebration. Even I went to like visit an exhibition in New York, doing like so much content. Obi-Wan was coming out. Um, I think we both were just like, okay, let's just take a few weeks off. Like there wasn't a lot going on anyway, so it would seem like good timing. I don't know, Mike felt similar, with the burnout and all that. So yeah, pretty much when I got back, we were just like, okay, I like threw a post up being like, because we hadn't posted in a week or two. I was like, yeah, like we'll be back soon. And then we had like a proper discussion, like, okay, let's actually take a few weeks off, and then we'll kick everything back into gear. But yeah, since I've been home, I haven't been doing a lot, honestly. Just starting back up at college, and getting all that boring stuff done, doing some work. all that. So yeah, nothing crazy. Obviously, haven't seen like my family and or parts of my family for a while. So I've been catching up with them and friends and all that. So yeah, I've been struggling to like get myself motivated to do like any work, like not just like podcast stuff, but just anything at all. So it's only been in these last couple of days really where I've started to like get that kind of motivation back, which like I'm feeling like good about it. Like if anyone noticed on Instagram, I was posting like once every 5 days, which is like just completely off what I used to be. I used to be posting twice a day. So stuff like that. But I'm looking like I want to get back on top of it now. We're heading into Andor season. So yeah, I think Mike and I both we're kind of going through these sorts of feelings like simultaneously. But now like we've decided, you know what, this at the time is right. Let's get things back going. So
That's
that's what
so
we're
true.
doing. That's what we're here today. So but yeah, that's kind of what we've been up to for anyone that's interested. But yeah, Mike, what is to be expected from this new era of the show? We're telling everyone that we're back, season two.
Yeah.
What's different, if anything? Tell the listeners.
You might see some. Listen, Ari and I are always updating things around here, but you might see some different things and stuff like that. And I mean, to talk about the future, you often have to go back and talk about what one has accomplished and stuff, and what we have done and stuff. And I mean, so I'm just gonna go on this little nugget piece, give everyone a little nugget of like last season, and
Mm,
just because it just basically came to a natural conclusion. We never were set on, okay, last episode going to be in Chicago, because when Ari
yeah,
was in Colorado with Davis, he called me and he was like, updating me on, how he was doing and stuff. And then he was like, oh, yo, podcast wise,
yeah,
this is how productive Ari is. And that's why, like, it's also been hard seeing him go through burnout, because it's easy for me because I always, it's myself. But when seeing Ari go through burnout has been like almost demoralizing, because literally when he left me minutes after he was on the plane, right? He was already doing like a schedule fix for the podcast, and was like, oh, we're gonna record Shadow of the Sith here, we're gonna do this podcast here, we're gonna do this. And I was just like, what is going on, right? So anyways, we were planning on doing a Shadow of the Sith book review,
oh yeah, yeah,
like within 2 weeks or something. We're gonna take like a week off, or not
yeah,
even. It was like supposed to be like we were supposed to keep going, but it just happened.
yeah,
It just came to a natural conclusion, and Ari said, Let's just take a break, whatever. We're gonna come back later," and it just happened. So it was like, you know what? Yeah, let's end it off on a strong note. We ended up doing a in-person podcast together. That was never the goal. I mean, it was always the goal, right? But it was
yeah,
never like that's going to be end of a season or whatever. But it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know what?
yeah.
Came to a natural
Exactly.
conclusion. We'll move on. But yeah, that it was insane to us that we were able to like, start this podcast when Ari was he was going to enter uni. So like when we're covering Book of Boba Fett, he was just starting off his first year,
Yeah,
which was insane. And now he started off his
yeah.
second
Well,
semester of
I'd actually
the
like
first
pretty
year.
much. I just like finished high school. We were like a month off
Yeah,
of that. Yeah,
we were yeah, you were a month off that. So it's
yeah,
just, and I felt I finished a college semester, another college semester. So I was like,
yeah, yeah.
whoa. And now to be here, it's just almost a year of the podcast already. So it's just been
Oh my
pretty
god, I
pretty
hadn't even thought
insane.
about that.
We're a couple months off, and it's just like we have done so much already that like and I feel absolutely privileged for, not just like what we've been able to accomplish, but the audience that has been following us along. Literally when Ari and I were in Anaheim, people were like, oh my god, it's so crazy seeing you guys together. Like, go look at the comment sections for like the first meetups.
Oh,
Like
there
people
was a
were
lot
like,
of discrimination against you for being short. That's
it
for sure.
was, but you know what? I'm still mad because I'll have proof. There's a photo of me that was taken, and you see Ari with shoes, and I didn't have shoes. Not that that makes a huge difference, but it
Come
is
on,
not
man.
fair.
Come on,
It
man.
is
No,
not
no, no.
fair. That's a whole different discussion. But anyways, with season
God.
with season two, look, as the first season, we didn't have like a end goal or whatever, but there's a lot of things that Ari and I talked about that we wanted to do. We wanted to do at least an interview with someone, and we did it. We did it with Daniel Jose Older, and that was like that still videos, still getting traction and stuff. Yeah, and we met. That's a great picture, by the way. We met Daniel Jose Older at a celebration, and he recognized us. So that was a moment. That was a moment. And shout out to Davis for that epic picture. But yeah,
Definitely.
it was amazing time. And Galaxy's Edge, you could recognize that from the thumbnail. That was another amazing experience. So we didn't even plan to do Galaxy's Edge together like that. Like, oh yeah, it just happened like weeks before
Yeah.
Celebration. So it's like,
Yeah.
who
I was
knows
always
what?
planning on going, and I was like, "You should come." And then you were like,
Yeah,
"Yeah, I don't know." It was like complicated, and then like kind of last minute, you're like, "Yeah, all right, let's do it." And then
let's
that
yeah.
was
He
what
kind
an
of
experience.
he dragged me there, to be honest with you. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
I had to drag Mike out at the end. Actually, that's what
Yeah, he
happened.
did. He had to drag me out. He's like, "Come on, let's go." I was like, "Wait."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that you're right about that. But yeah, this season, I mean, there's there's so many goals and things that and I have talked about that we hope to accomplish here. Like, we did one interview last season. Like, expect more. Like, we're
Mm.
always reaching for the stars, I guess, and whatever comes our way, we'll take it. So definitely expect that, because definitely have some connections here and there. So I'm going to pull every string that I can for you guys, for us, so we can talk to different people and bring different voices in the room and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm just I what I loved about last season too is we would talk to all sorts of different people, like Chelsea, Parks, Noah.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I want to know also Noah from Instagram. So it's just like I want to do also more of that, where we bring different
Mm.
voices, because guess what? Andor is going to be like 12 episodes long. So it's like you're going to hear different voices
Yeah.
throughout and
9
stuff like
weeks
that.
of Andor.
9 weeks of Andor. What a
Yeah.
what a time. So
Yeah.
yeah, though and will there be an in-person podcast during season 2? We don't know. Maybe
Yes.
not.
No,
But
no, no.
there has to
Hopefully,
be.
hopefully,
Hopefully,
hopefully. Yeah.
there has to be. Hopefully, and
We'll
if
see.
not, we'll stretch out season 2 until that happens and be like, okay,
Yeah.
Fiend
No.
finished. So yeah,
That will happen again. It's just a matter of time. We have no idea when. Couldn't tell you, but we have
right,
some sort of idea, but it's like we really don't know until we know type thing.
right.
So yeah,
So
but it will happen again.
oh, definitely. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're ready to cover this new era of Star Wars though. There's there's the Cassian Andor series, Tales of the Jedi, a Bad Batch, Ahsoka,
I honestly forgot
Mandalorian.
about Tales of the Jedi until yesterday, and I was like, oh my god, there's so much good stuff coming this year. Like,
Same. I was thinking about it actually when I was putting together some of the graphics for the show. I'm like, wait, what's coming out this year? I'm like, Tales of the Jedi, still yet to
yeah,
come. So yeah, there's a lot of things that it's just like before. I remember we were like after Book of Boba Fett, don't go anywhere because Obi-Wan Kenobi, and we thought that was gonna be the biggest thing. And it's like, no, now it's like we're gonna get like this conglomerate of like just
yeah.
all this show and content and stories
And
and
yeah,
yeah.
you know what I love? This is like just unrelated to the podcast, but just Star Wars wise, I'm like all three of those shows, Bad Batch, Andor, Tales. I'm like, I'm so excited for all of them in like different ways.
Oh right.
Like the reasons I'm looking forward to Bad Batch are completely different to Andor and Tales and stuff. So like it's gonna be a great end of the year for Star Wars,
What
I reckon.
what did Mark Ruffalo say recently? That Star Wars, it's all the
Oh
same
my
stories?
god. Oh, let's not talk about that. That was the biggest ramble from him. And I mean,
Uh,
I like Mark Ruffalo, but come on, man. Come on, man. Who's
Ari
gonna tell
says
him?
that
Who's
as a
gonna tell
big
him?
fan of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Oh no. I really liked Marvel before Endgame. I don't dislike it now. I've lost interest. By the way, the whatever I just said, credit to Noah on Instagram. I forgot, but that was his joke. But anyway, bring it back to the podcast just for a second to wrap up this discussion. When I like this specifically is going to change. This specifically is going to change. It's
Right.
just like, I mean, things that like just like our relationship is different now. Like we've met each other. We've had all these like crazy adventures together. That's what's different. It's like, and it's just like it's almost like we're just I don't know. It's like naturally in a show once you've spent one season with these characters or whatever, it's like now you can spend a season with them again, but it's like stuff about them, all this stuff's happened. So I don't know
Yeah.
if that makes any sense, but to me in my head I'm like I just think everything is just going to get better and better the more we keep going with it. And yeah, you'll notice like we want to always improve production quality, as Mike said, bring more people in, bring familiar people back. I'm sure Parks, Chelsea, all those people will return eventually. So yeah, but phase 2, hopefully it's another banger, and then yeah, we'll keep going through it. But for the near future, this next like month, we're kind of leading into Andor. We don't know exactly, what we're going to do. Episodes may be sub-regular. We might not be able to stick to weekly episodes for this upcoming month. We'll see what happens. We'll like keep communication open. But yeah, like the very near future, next week we are reviewing Princess and Scoundrel, which I'm glad we can like say that, because I'm like, if you guys want to tune into that review, make it feel almost a bit of like a book club. Mike used to have his good old book club. Read the book in this next week so that you can listen to us discuss it, and we can discuss it with you in the comments. So this week, for anyone that's interested in listening and partaking in that, read Princess and Scoundrel, and then that's what we'll be talking about on the podcast next week. And Shadow of the Sith, we haven't reviewed it, but we will eventually. We obviously I was away. It was it was difficult to get all that done, but we will be reviewing that hopefully before Andor. We'll see what happens, but
right,
yeah. But Mike, what's been going on with Star Wars since we last chatted? I think it hasn't been a whole lot. I think the biggest thing, of course, is the Andor trailer, the release date, all that. So let's talk about that first of all.
Yeah.
What are you thinking of this new Andor release date? We've got 3 episodes coming on September 21, I believe. And so yeah, and that trailer, what do you think? I know you're as hyped as anyone for this show, so let us know.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about the release date change because some people were upset. Some people are like, okay. For me, I was more like, thank God, because I just need a break from. I still need a break from covering.
Same reaction I had.
I was like, thank God.
Yeah,
I get to a little bit more summer vacation to me and settle in for school this new school year, so I can chillax for a little bit, and then once I hit the ground running and whatever, then I can do my little forte, sit here and talk about Andor every week, and then do Instagram, right? But the trailer looked freaking epic. I mean, this show looks so surreal. Like, I can't believe we're getting this show just because of how good it looks. I can already tell you, like, I'm gonna be satisfied with it. Just it could turn out to be like the most horribly written thing that's ever been made. But like for me personally, the way it looks, it's already checked off so many boxes.
It's out of the volume, mate. We're out of the volume.
We're out of the stupid volume. Wait, are
Yeah.
we actually? This makes sense to what I've been saying, and actually it might tie in here. But actually, no, we haven't talked about this.
We actually did a drinking episode, and Mike had a lot to say about the volume.
That drinking episode recorded in season 1, but will be released under season 2. There we go.
I don't know about that. I'll release it in a few decades.
In a few decades, when we both are no longer podcasting.
But I'm currently editing it, and I'll see if I can get something together that's postable. So
yeah,
is that a word? I don't think so.
Postable.
Let's move on.
It's for us. But yeah, Andor looks freaking epic. I think it's one of the like best trailers that we've gotten from Star Wars in a very long time. I've been watching that trailer a lot. Not recently though, but for real though, the when it first came out, I was like rewatch, not even analyzing like, oh my god, what's here, what's there. I didn't care about any of that. It just looked visually visually pleasing, and like the dialogue of like that we've gotten, and oh my god, yeah, it was just very cut well. And the first trailer was really good. I really liked the first trailer, but this one, it just gave us more an more expansive look at the expansive world that is Andor, and all these still shots that we keep getting, like pretty much updated every day, like new stills of the show. I'm like, oh my god, this looks so well shot. Like they have practical sets. I mean, it's shot on location. This whole thing that they've told us about it being a political thriller and whatnot, espionage type thing. And guess what? It is that based on the trailer. I'm already 100% satisfied. I mean, I'm trying to think what other details from the trailer that like blew me away. But I mean, just seeing Mon Mothma up in there again and playing her role, and she's just like playing this card game, not actually, but more metaphorically. And people are like starting to question her and stuff. So yes, like I am so in this. Like I'm just 100% hyped. I can't wait till it starts releasing on Disney Plus. Wish it was Fridays, but I'll take the Wednesdays. I do have to say one complaint. I don't appreciate that they're throwing 3 episodes at us at once. That's going to be very gruesome.
Okay.
3 episodes. If they're like 30 minutes each, 90-minute movie, I'm okay with that. But if they're all 40-minute plus, 3 episodes on one day trying to cover it, like Instagram podcast, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So I like kind of experiencing Star Wars like in doses.
I feel opposite because I mean, I remember with Book of Boba, I was really big on they definitely should have released 2 episodes at
Oh, right.
once. However, I like this because I think it's a good way to introduce us to the series. Is like it's almost like we get to watch like an Andor movie to like get pushed into the
Oh, for
series,
sure.
which I think is good. And I don't know. Lately, I've just been feeling with kind of a lot of Star Wars things. I know every time we talk about Bad Batch, I'm always harping on how they should release those episodes in like bundles of like 4 episodes and stuff. So
Oh, for sure.
I don't know if it's just impatience or I think it's just a me thing because personally I just enjoy watching like being able to like spend a lot of time with it instead of like I struggle to enjoy something like Bad Batch, which I do enjoy, but it's like 20 minutes a week just doesn't really feel like I can properly like get into it. So I think this is going to be like a really good like entry point into Andor with like 3 episodes. I think, and hopefully it's a strong start, and all this hype that the show's been getting, is lived up to. But in terms of the trailer, for me, I mean, I definitely didn't dislike it at all. I just trailers in general for Star Wars just haven't hit for me since like that, maybe like that Rebels era. Because I think the Rebels trailers were just like peak. I know throughout like the sequels and stuff, like I loved all those trailers, and I don't know, just not a lot since then. Trailer wise has really like grabbed me. I'm sure there's been a couple, but like even Mandalorian trailers, none of those have ever really
No,
like
no.
impressed me that much. So
Those are all Disney, like it
yeah,
just they all feel corporate made. Like it's
yeah,
just
and
like
like
a
the Book of Boba trailer was
oh
really
no.
left something to be desired. But this one was definitely a step above that. But it didn't like it's not something that I've just been going back rewatching. I think some of the Obi-Wan trailers were pretty good, but anyway, but just in terms of getting a look at the show, I think it looks really solid. Like that's all I'd say. I'm not blown away. I'm not thinking this is going to be the greatest thing ever. It could be, but that's sort of just from what we've seen. That's not what I'm thinking. I totally agree with you though. It looks incredible because we're finally out of the volume. Which, by the way, don't I think the volume is so innovative and good on John Favreau for making it, but it's just been lately. It just feels so restrictive with some of the visuals on the Disney Plus shows. But
Oh yeah, for sure.
that's besides the point. The show looks incredible. The thing that gets me so excited is all the footage of Mon Mothma in the Imperial Senate, and I just think this season one. I have a solid feeling people aren't going to like this first season because people just don't like first seasons of these shows. Rebels, Bad Batch, where they're like kind of introducing like the characters and stuff and really focusing on that because I think this first season is going to be super Andor heavy. It's going to be all about him, like why he is the way he is, and then season 2, people are probably going to start to jump on board when we start getting all those cameos from like Hera and whatnot. That's just kind of my prediction at least. But that's almost what has me excited is I'm I want this deep character study of Cassian because that's kind of what's really interested me about this show. Like I know a lot of people, I think yourself included, Mike, hear like, oh, political thriller, all that stuff, and that gets them excited, which I think that's all cool. But I'm like, man, like I want another deep like character study, and it's what I really wanted from Obi-Wan, and I think we kind of got it, but not quite. So I would be really excited if that's what Andor gave us. So all in all, just excited for the series. Have so many like questions and thoughts like going into it, but yeah, I'm excited.
I think because we have seen glimpses of Cassian as a kid in the series and
Yeah,
of him
yeah,
in under clone trooper Republic control at first. So I mean, I think we are going to get like maybe not like a up close personal study because while this feel like Andor show, this also feels like an era show. It feels
yeah,
like they're gonna give us stuff from the era. So while you're getting
yeah.
Cassian's story, you're also getting the
Like
background
what's
and what's
going on
going
with
on
the
with the rest of it.
Empire? Yeah,
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 what's going on with the
definitely.
galaxy, the Empire, and the Senate, and all that. So yeah, I'm with you. I hope we do see in depth look at Cassian. Well, I do appreciate that this is a espionage type thing. I do want them to kind of give us an explanation why Cassian, right? I mean, you basically get that with his
Yeah.
introduction in Rogue One, and he's more of a roguish character, which it's
Mhm.
like, okay, this is a perfect character that we can use. Like how they keep using Saul Guerrero every time they need someone, that's kind of like more an aggressive fighter.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, Saul Guerrero was in this trailer, amazing. But it's like, I definitely want to see them give us a reason why they chose Cassian. Like, just make it more known. I kind of wanted them to do that for Book of Boba Fett. We all did. Like, why give Boba his own show? Why tell us, give us? And we never got that answer. So I really want them to, like, they don't have to like tell us, but like just exemplify why Andor, needs a show for himself, and why Mount Mothma is there, why this and that is there.
Yeah,
So if they just give
that's
us
an
that,
awesome point. Yeah,
I'll love that. So yeah, they could definitely do both, but I definitely want them to do, give us a reason why Cassian is in the forefront of all this.
no, I love that you've pointed that out because not that I disliked Obi-Wan, Book of Boba, I don't feel great about, but neither of those shows I personally feel like justified their existence. So I would love if, as you said, this show is like, this is why this show exists and this is why we need this show, because they've had this announced for so long now. It's like that's almost why I'm excited. It's because, like, I'm curious why so early on were they like, who needs a show? Andor. Like, and
Right.
yeah, as you say, I would just love to see, okay, that's cool, why? Let's see why this story needs to be told. So September 21, we'll be ready to go. We'll be covering every episode. Super excited. And even though with Book of Boba we covered that all, and neither of us really ended up loving the series, it's super fun to cover these shows. So I can't wait for that
it's a little game. I'm the only sport that I'm into, I will say, is AFL because of Ari. He's got me into that. Sorry to all my Saints fans, but anyways,
oh god,
sorry, there he goes again. But you know what? Like, I love breaking. It's like if I tuned in on ESPN or something, and you just have all these guys in a room, and they're like breaking down the game, and it's like post game analysis and all that, and like locker room talk or whatever. Those interviews. But it's like here we're doing that, but we're doing it for like a show or something. So it's kind of fun just breaking these things down just for, at the end of the day, it's a hobby. It's just fun. So the fact that we're gonna get Andor and all this stuff, I'm like excited for. As Ari said,
absolutely.
Sometimes it could be like, man, I did not like this episode at all, or I don't like the series at all quite that much. But at the end of the day, it's just all fun, and it's like, at the end of the day, we're Star Wars fans still. So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Absolutely. Some other things that have been going on in Star Wars. Honestly, I've been really tapped out from Star Wars, so I haven't watched either of these. But Light and Magic, I've heard great things about, and I am looking forward to watching that. I don't think you haven't watched that either, Mike. I don't think.
Nope, did not do my homework.
Yeah, but we will watch it. Maybe we'll talk about it on the podcast if there's something to talk about. And something I haven't watched, but I know Mike has, is the Lego Summer Vacation. Another year, another Lego special. What do you think, Mike?
Man, wait, hold on. We gotta go back here. What's your thing with the Lego specials? So we haven't really talked about this, but you kind of hinted at me. You kind of in conversations, you've been like, "Oh yeah, I didn't really like the Christmas one." I was like, "What?
Yeah,
you hate fun?"
Oh my god! Oh, I hate you.
He hates fun.
I'm joking. I love fun, and I don't dislike the Lego specials at all. They just are what they are. I liked the what was last year, Halloween. I liked that one. That one was fun. That was cool. Holiday special, the Christmas one, or Thanksgiving, whatever that was cool. I don't know. I'm not as strongly opinionated on it like some of our friends are. And it's like how you are becoming, I guess.
I just said I like them, but okay, you know what?
The Lego defenders over here.
Yeah,
they're coming to get me.
I love my Lego
genuinely, they just are what they are. They're just not really what I'm interested in. Like, I tried to watch Freemaker Adventures back in the day, and I just couldn't do it. But I used to watch like the Yoda Chronicles or whatever back in the day when I was a kid, and I liked those. So I don't know. I like them, but they just are what they are.
All right, then.
I'm not so strongly opinionated about it.
You know,
but I will get around to watching this summer one.
Do it before summer ends. Well, actually, it's winter where you are, so don't worry about it. Watch it when summer comes around.
Yeah.
So I had a great conversation with Leland Chi, who he's heavily involved in these Lego specials.
Hell yeah.
We were walking to Celebration one morning, and I was like, "Oh, Leland Chi." I was like, "What the?"
Mike got right in his ear.
I did, and I was just telling him how much
his ear off.
Yeah, I did, and I had a great convo with him about the Lego specials and whatnot, and it was funny because he was like, "Oh, like I told him what I do and stuff," and he was like, "Oh, what's your Instagram page?" And I told him, and he was like, "Oh, like I'll follow you. I mean, he never did, but I was just like, okay, thanks. It was still a great combo in that morning. And oh my God, Leland Chi, I just got to say this quick because I'll forget it and it'll be great to like tune back to this and be like, oh yeah, we were walking through a hotel and he was like, oh, I got to go this way, but I'll follow you. I'll make it through this way. I was like, okay, because we were meeting our friends True and Davis
Such a
that
good
morning,
guy.
and he just followed. And even though, and then he went to the concierge desk and was like, "How do I get out of here?" And I was like, "Oh my God, he just followed me." So, anyways, love to Leland Chi because he
No,
wrote
he was. I didn't really talk to him as much as Mike did, but he was super lovely. Like,
yeah, he was
like
awesome.
so like Mike approached him and he was just, so willing to like just have a chat and all that. So it was super cool to see.
Even though he was in a rush, I was like, "Oh my God, it was
Yeah.
what a genuinely good person." But
Yeah.
Lego special. Speaking of good, it was very good. I love the summer vacation one. Actually, I kind of like loved. They're just all of them have been so charming to me. Because it's not just like, hey, we need shows, we need stuff up there on Disney Plus. I need the Lego department producing stuff. Like, I wonder what they're gonna do next because honestly, the summer vacation one surprised me in a way, not in a good way, but I saw like the Halcyon Cruiser attached, and I'm like, what is all this? But it was actually Ari said Princess and Scoundrel review coming. I was reading that while I was watching while I was reading it and then took a break and watched the Lego special. It was great connective tissue, I guess, because you were inside the Halcyon Cruiser and you got some things that were shown or you read about in the book because God knows I'm not I'm not going to the Halcyon Cruiser anytime soon. So it was great to get some of the visuals in the Lego game or in the Lego special, anyways. But no, it was really fun. I mean, it had a lot of charm to it. It had a good story, and at the end of the day, it had a nice message to it, nice heart. Where I was like, oh, like that was nice, and that's how I felt about like the Christmas one, and then the Halloween one was just absolutely brilliant. Like that one was just fun, where they were like taking, like they were doing like a Twilight Zone episode, and they were just like being it just felt very inspirational, all the shorts they did, and somehow they were able to like weave through it. By the end you were just like, oh, it still had like all the connecting pieces, no pun intended, but it was fun at the end of the day. Is it something that like as soon as it drops on Disney Plus I'm running to it and watching it? No, but it was a chill summer afternoon, and I was like, let me put on the summer vacation episode. So it's gonna be a tradition for me though to watch the holiday special every time Christmas or Thanksgiving comes around, just because I love adding Star Wars to those holidays, and it's fun when it's actually in season, when it's something like on the nose like that. And same with the Halloween special, because that one again, like I said, it got all the little spooky vibes and got its message across. So, and by the way, I know Ari is not a big fan of Lego right now, but we attempted to build a Lego Boba Fett helmet. You can catch some of it on our Instagrams. We posted like a live video of it, but it's actually we still have like the mold of it. So next time Ari and I are together in the same room, we will attempt to complete it. But yeah. Anyways, that's
also
that's
shout out to Shane for giving Mike and I both little mini Lego sets. Mine's sitting back there, but yeah, that was awesome of him to do that. So I love Lego. What are you talking about, man? I love it.
Have you finished Lego Rise of Skywalker saga?
Oh boy.
Yep, there
I
you go.
love the Lego. Okay.
That's all I have to say.
Oh boy. Soon. I actually just got a PS5, so whenever that comes, I'll put Lego Star Wars Skywalker in and I'll play it. But anyway, besides the point. So we got some books as well. Shadow of the Sith, Princess and Scoundrel, all the Princess and Scoundrel chat. I'll park it and we'll pick it up next week. So go read that if you want to be involved in the discussion. Obviously, if you don't want to, we'll do like a spoiler-free section at the start, which of course. And then yeah, as we also talked about, Shadow of the Sith came out. We will get to it. That's all I have to say. But
actually,
I've seen some positive reviews. It sounds like a pretty interesting book. It's a very long book. It's a lot to get through, but
it's 500 something pages, and who's reading their summer vacation? Shame on you. No, I'm just kidding. Good for you. I read Princess and Scoundrel, and I got like 200 pages in for Shadow of the Sith, and I was everything that I read from both books, I just like absolutely enjoyed. So once Ari's up to par with my reading ability, the audiobook. Let me tell you something about the audiobook.
I was ahead last time.
Yeah, for Brotherhood, he was so ahead of me where he was
Yeah.
texting me like, "Hey, are you on chapter whatever?" And I was like, "Damn, I have to catch up." And now it's the
Yeah.
complete opposite. But
Yeah, I'll get there. I need to get back on the Star Wars now that the AFL season is unfortunately coming to an end for me. I'm ready to get back into my Star Wars
his hobbies, his other
vibe.
hobbies.
Yeah.
But I will say about Princess and Scoundrel, um, someone asked me, and this is the first time someone's asked me, like, audiobook or should I get the book? I would for this one,
Mm.
to be honest, I'd say get the audiobook. It's really fun. Like this is more of a fun book. And by the way, if you want to catch my non-spoiler review, you can do so on Instagram, posted
Check
it
it
up.
out. Check it out.
Uh, and people were responding well to it and stuff. And it, I mean, like the audiobook was so much fun. You had a, a female narrator for all the Leia chapters and a male narrator for all the Han chapters. And they literally like first chapter is like prologue, second chapter it's Leia, then Han, and they alternate throughout the entire book.
Yeah.
So you
Can I
get
just say I
yeah.
haven't listened to it, but as an avid audiobook listener, that is so good to hear because it's always nice to have multiple voices and not
Right.
having the one voice do an impression of every every character.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's great news. It makes me super excited to listen and read.
So do it, and yeah, join us for our next book club for Princess and Scoundrel.
Get on
As
it.
already
Yeah.
said, we didn't do this last time for Brotherhood, which I felt bad. And actually had a family member tell me like, "Oh, like I was listening to it, but then you guys got into spoilers, so I had to tune out." And I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh." So I told, "All right, next book we do, we got to do like a non-spoiler section at the beginning, and then go into the spoilers." So that's what we're gonna do. But if you need more convincing for Princess and Scoundrel, check out my little review on Instagram.
Yeah.
And yeah, Shadow of the Sith. Also read that one because there'll be. Do you think we'll do that before Andor?
Yeah.
Just
That's the plan, but who knows?
who
We'll
knows?
try. That's all we're saying. We'll try
Yeah.
to get there. Lot to get through. That's one of the things, and if we get there, we get there. But
We gotta do our
that's
homework
how
though.
yeah, we
We
do.
we gotta do our homework because High
Yeah.
Republic that's coming back very
Oh
soon.
boy, I mean, I'm excited, but also like, give me more time, please. But I know I'm excited. I'm excited. But yeah, that's our return episode. Thanks to everyone as always for listening. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Those are sort of our big three platforms. But wherever else you get your podcast, most likely you can listen there as well. We send it out on all of the services. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Star Wars _exchange and Twitter, the SW Exchange. Make sure you follow us, the podcast page on Instagram at the SW Exchange. We're at like 300 followers now or something. We started posting quite a lot of like personalized stuff on there. Like a lot of the small podcast updates for the regular listeners. They're all on there. So go check it out. Look at that. Shout out to little Eric and Joey. But yeah, so Mike, where can the good people find you?
Yeah, find me on underscore Star Wars, and also on underscore Star Wars on Twitter. During Andor, I'll be more active during or on Twitter,
Yeah,
but every day on Twitter, it's just
likewise. Yeah,
I hate Twitter. It's always some
I am
controversy
with you.
going. It's always
Everyone's just
like
always so angry on Twitter. It's like, can you guys
everyone's
just calm down and
I
go
know.
outside or
Go
like,
to your notes app on your phone and just write it to the air right
yeah,
there. I mean, why do you have
yeah.
to put it on
Throw that out to the void, please.
please? Yeah, throw it
Yeah.
out to the void because every time I
Shout out
jump
to
on
our
Twitter,
Twitter friends, but if you're one of those angry Twitter people, just calm down.
get off the phone, go
Get
outside,
off your phone.
touch a
Yeah.
tree. But it just gets very overwhelming. I go in there and I'm like, why all of a sudden are people mad at lamps? You know, I'm like, why are people mad at lamps? But
Yeah.
you know what? Whatever. But yeah, find me there. I'll be more active on Twitter. Ari will be more active on Twitter.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you all for joining on us on this little season opener. We can't wait to get started and really throw all the heavy hitters to you guys. And yeah, expect so much more and expect none of it at the same time. That's how we roll around here. But no, just kidding. We have good things. We have good plans, and who knows who'll join our podcast next, you know. So
Absolutely.
stay tuned.
Keen as. Thanks everyone for listening / watching. And as always, may the force be with you. See you later.
Always.